everyone, my name is Sia and I'm here with Purple Elegance. So today we're going to be talking about things that you need to check yourself about. Now, I know this must be a very hard conversation to have with oneself, because I know for me, sometimes it definitely is very difficult for me to have those like real conversations with myself. But in order to grow and become a better person, these conversations are very necessary. So without all the rambling, we're just gonna get right into the video. So the first thing you need to check yourself about is if you are someone who blames the world for their problems. You ever came across somebody who, like, anytime they're going through something, they are always trying to blame the next person instead of taking accountability for their actions or whatever's going on with them? I can't stand somebody who literally just thinks the whole world is under their feet, and therefore anything that is going wrong in their life, it is Mary's fault, it is Peter and Paul's fault, it is Joshua's fault, it is all these people's fault. But they never once say, well, maybe I could have done this better, or maybe if I had just done this, or just to take responsibility. No, it's not in their vocabulary. That if you're doing something like that, you need to check yourself. The second thing you need to check yourself about is if you are someone who has all these different ideas in the world, but you don't have a plan on how to execute them. Like, don't tell me about your plans. Tell me about how you're gonna execute them. For example, oh, I wanna open up my own cupcake shop. Okay, what steps have you taken to work towards opening up the cupcake shop? Have you worked with some vendors? Have you looked up some ideas, some cupcake ideas? Have you figured out what kind of cupcakes you wanna serve? Have you figured out how many cupcakes you wanna serve? Have you figured out a spot? Do you have a location yet? Do you have a business plan down? Do you have a budget available? Do you have, like, the list goes on. I wanna know what you're going to do to execute this whole cupcake shop idea. So if you're someone who has a bunch of ideas but no plans, check yourself. The third thing that you need to definitely check yourself about is if you're someone who expects everyone to do the work for you. You might have these ideas that we just talked about previously in number 2, but if you have all these ideas and you expect somebody else to do the work for you, you're bugging. You're definitely tripping, and no, it does not work like that. Anything that you want to do in this life, literally, I strongly believe that nobody does things like you do. Each and every one of us has a specific task in this world. We all have a purpose. Ever heard the saying, I could give you the recipe, but it won't taste the same? Baby, let me tell you, the meaning behind that saying is you can never do it like I can. Two people can do the exact same task, and I promise you it's gonna come out in 2 different ways. What is instilled inside of you is inside of you. You cannot expect the next person to do it like you do. So making or having someone else execute your work, or having someone else do the work for you, is pure laziness. Yes, I said it. It's absolutely lazy. If you get to a point where you're able to pay people to do the work, it's like maybe you're in a position where you've made it and now you are head of your company or something, and now you are CEO and you have all these workers under you. That's totally different. But I mean, in regards to someone who has things that they need to do, who is a worker themselves, and they are manipulating other people to try to do the work for them, that is totally wrong, and it is laziness. Like I said, it's pure laziness. You need to definitely double, triple, quadruple check yourself. Another thing I think is so important that people need to check themselves about is being grateful, having gratitude. Ask yourself, when was the last time you were grateful for anything or thankful? When was the last time you appreciated the people you have around you or the things that you have? A lot of times, especially with COVID going on, there's not as many huge functions going on and people being around each other as in groups and what it used to be. So having people around you and in your circle is so important. When was the last time you took time to appreciate those people or give them their flowers while they're still here? You really don't know what you have until it's gone. So showing gratitude and appreciation of those things and those people is important. If you are not doing those things, you need to check yourself. So one of my favorite sayings is from Albert Einstein. He said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That couldn't be far from the truth. The Bible also has a scripture on that as well. Like, how do you keep doing the same things over and over and you are expecting different results? This applies to absolutely anything. This applies to relationships, friendships, life, work, everything, school, everything. You cannot be doing the exact same thing and expecting different results. It does not work like that. If you have been doing whatever it is that you've been trying to do for the longest and you've been wanting something different and it's not working, it's time to try something new. Like sometimes you need to step out of your comfort zone or step out of your box in order to achieve the desired results. Think about it, y'all. Like, I know for me, I used to be like that. Like when it came to getting my points across, I'm that type of person that I'm like a talker. And I believe in that type of mindset where, okay, we're gonna figure this out. We're not gonna leave from this spot until we figure this out. That was not working with a lot of people. Like people feel like, okay, they're adults, they don't have to sit here and listen to me. So I realized, okay, this is not working. How else can I get my point across? So I had to learn how to become a better communicator in order to effectively get people around me to understand where I was coming from. The list goes on and on with how you can change up your tactics if they're not working. So if you have been using the same tactic and you keep basically forcing it and it's not working, check yourself. Oh my gosh, like this next one, y'all. Everybody, Jesus, everybody come around. Everybody, like all the angels in heaven, everybody come around. Why are you still hating in 2021? If you are still hating, if you are still envious, jealous, negative in this day and age, this society, check yourself. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I really don't even know what to say. Why are you still so, like, why are you a hater? Right now, everybody is just trying to keep their heads above water, make it do what it do, live to be the best that they can be. So if you see somebody doing something and you hating and you being petty and you on social media throwing jabs, making indirect comments, what? Like I do this a lot. I just adapted this. I don't know where this came from, but why? It's just at this point, there's no need to be a hater. There is no need. Like it's almost, I look at hating like laziness in a way. You're just hating on somebody else's what they got going on. Why don't you get up out your seat and do something about it? Like you can, nobody's saying don't use them as your motivators. Like, oh, I want this too. Oh, this looks nice. I want it, but it's not enough to sit out here and just like in your heart of hearts, you are hating on the next man. Like, why? But that's all I'm gonna say about that. If you're hating, check yourself. And I'm gonna make this last point. Last point you need to check yourself about is making sure that you are not trying to make every situation and everything about you. I can't stand when I tell somebody a story or I tell somebody something and they like, yeah, this happened to me and this happened to me. It's not about you. Now, don't get me wrong, because sometimes I am that friend that will kind of like insert my story into what you're saying, but it's only because I want you to understand that I identify with what you're talking about. I empathize with you. That's why sometimes I'll say, oh, well, this happened to me and all that stuff. I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking about people who feel like the entire world is ran by them. The entire world runs because of them. They make every single situation about them. That is pure selfishness. It's not about you. Pipe down. Like when things are not about you, calm down. You don't have to insert yourself into everything. Sometimes it's okay to just sit back and observe and watch. You don't have to sit here and say, oh, well, this happened to me and me too, or try to make your point all the time. Sometimes people don't want to hear your point. Sometimes it's good to be seen and not heard. You actually learn more that way when you just zip, zilch, zip, throw it away. Just why are you inserting yourself in things that don't pertain to you? If you're doing that, you need to check yourself. Stop trying to make everything about you. But you guys, that is all that I have for you today. I lost count at how many checkpoints I just gave you guys. But if you guys learned anything today, or if you really thought about it and said, hey, I actually do some of those things and I actually do need to check myself, click the subscribe button below. I need you to show me the love with the subscribe button below. Go ahead and hit that like you already know what to do. And like, comment, share. If you want anything in this life, believe it, achieve it, and boom, it's yours. Stay blessed, and I'll see you guys in my next video.